Welcome in, everyone. I've been wanting to do this video for quite some time. I want to talk about Phil Kessel and where he can possibly go. I imagine that he's not ready to hang up his skates just yet, especially with his Ironman streak still in check. I'm just going to go over his career so far, and then at the end of it, I'll speak as to who may or may not want to sign someone like him. So he was drafted by the Boston Bruins back in 2006. He was the fifth overall pick back then. And honestly, I thought when he was drafted by the Bruins, I was like, this guy's going to be a stud. He's going to be with the Bruins for quite some time. And then he only ended up playing 3 seasons with them. So just goes to show that just because you're drafted by a team doesn't necessarily mean you're going to have a career or a long stint with said team. So in his first rookie season, he played 70 games, 11 goals, 18 assists for 29 points. 2007, 2008, he would play a full 82 game season, 19 goals, 18 assists for 37 points. 2008, 2009 would be a breakout season for Phil Kessel. 70 games played, 36 goals, 24 assists for 60 points. Up until that was his biggest point total of his NHL career thus far. In that offseason, he was traded from the Boston Bruins to the Toronto Maple Leafs, which sounds like such a crazy thing to do, especially when you're playing a team in that division. And he would get traded. And in return, the Bruins got a pick. I believe it was Tuukka Rask. I think Tuukka Rask got drafted by the Leafs, but then they ended up flipping him to the Boston Bruins, and he ended up having a hell of a career with the Bruins. So just imagine had the Leafs not dipped their feet in the Phil Kessel water, who knows how their future could have been had Tuukka Rask stayed on their team. So in his first season with the Maple Leafs, 70 games played, 30 goals, 25 assists for 55 points. 2010, 2011, a full season played, 32 goals, 32 assists for 64 points. So at this point, that was his highest total, but the following season would be an even bigger breakout. 82 games played, 37 goals, 45 assists for 82 points. So that's pretty much a point per game. 2012, 2013 would be a shortened season. It would be the first of two on this list. So in 2012, 2013, there was no regular season games from October to December. I believe it didn't start until January. So it was just the 2013 season, in my opinion. 48 games was the scheduled, and he played all 48 games for the Leafs. 20 goals, 32 assists for 52 points. 2013, 2014, a full regular season was back underway. 82 games played, 37 goals, 43 assists. So roughly a point a game yet again. 2014, 2015, 82 games played, 25 goals, 36 assists for 61 points. So he had a bit of a down year that time, considering he had 80 points and 82 points 2 out of the last 4 seasons. In that offseason, he would sign with another team, so that would be the end of his tenure with the Toronto Maple Leafs. So in 2015, 2016, he would sign with the Pittsburgh Penguins. Yet another full season. 26 goals, 33 assists for 59 points. The following season, 2016, 2017, 82 games played, 23 goals, 47 assists for 70 points. 2017, 2018 would probably be his biggest year to date. 82 games played, 34 goals, 58 assists for 92 points. So he was that close to getting 100 points in a season. 2018, 2019, yet again, another full season, 27 games, 27 goals, 55 assists for 82 points. So again, roughly a point a game, not too shabby. 2019, he would get traded, I believe, to the Arizona Coyotes. And in that season, the only reason you don't see the 82 under the games played category is because that's when COVID happened. It was a worldwide pandemic and everything got shut down. So only 70 games played then, 14 goals, 24 assists for 38 points. So his lowest total points to date was that 2019-2020 season. The following year, in 2020-2021, just like the 2012-2013 season, there was no regular season games in the first year. So the season really didn't technically begin until I think January of 2021. 56 games were scheduled on the NHL for all teams. He did play all 56 games for the Arizona Coyotes, knotting 20 goals, 23 assists for 43 points. 2021, 2022, the season would finally get back underway, a full season, 82 games played, but unfortunately only had 8 goals, 44 assists for 52 points. So he had more points than the season before, but only knotting 8 goals. So under 10 goals a season, not that great. But again, with age, this kind of stuff is expected. In the offseason, he would sign a 1-year contract with the Vegas Golden Knights, playing 82 games, 14 goals, 22 assists for 36 points. So up to this day, he's now played a grand total of 1,286 games, 413 regular season goals, 579 assists for 992 points. I'm sure he would love to be able to sign with somebody and to get at least 8 more points, whether it's 8 goals or 8 assists. I don't think he really cares, but I'm sure he would love to be able to say he notched 1,000 points on his NHL resume. Now we'll take a look at his playoff stats. So he only did 2 stints of the playoffs with the Boston Bruins. The first came in 2007, 2008, 4 games played, 3 goals, 1 assist for 4 points. The following season, 2008, 2009, they would make it to the second round. 11 games played, 6 goals, 5 assists for 11 points. His only stint that he made the postseason with the Maple Leafs came in the 2013 shortened season, and they got bounced in the first round in 7 games, 4 goals, 2 assists for 6 points. 2015, 2016, he would play 24 games, 10 goals, 12 assists for 22 points in his first Stanley Cup final, and he won the cup that year as well. The following year, 25 games played, 8 goals, 15 assists for 23 points, back-to-back Stanley Cup champs with the Pittsburgh Penguins. 2017, 2018, 12 games played, only 1 goal, 8 assists for 9 points. 2018, 2019, the Penguins would get swept in the first round by the New York Islanders. He had 4 games played, 1 goal, 1 assist for 2 points. 2019, 2020, he had 9 games played with the Arizona Coyotes. And that's only because when they had the whole COVID thing, I think it was sometime in July or August, they brought 14 teams to Edmonton, 14 teams to Toronto. So the Coyotes were in that top 14. They would play the Nashville Predators in the first play-in round. It was a best of 5, and I think they won that series 3 games to 1. And then they unfortunately got bounced in the next, in their first technical round of the playoffs to the Colorado Avalanche in 5 games. So 4 games against the Predators and 5 games against the Avalanche. 1 goal, 3 assists in that very odd and unusual postseason. And then just this past year, he only played 4 games for the Vegas Golden Knights, but as long as you play, I think, at least a minimum of 1 or 2 games, your name will be etched on the cup. He didn't have any goals, and he only had 2 assists on that Vegas Golden Knights squad. So 3-time Stanley Cup champion Phil Kessel, there we go. That's not too bad. So up until this point, he's played at a grand total of 100 games in postseason for 34 goals, 49 assists, and 83 points. So a pretty good resume, but again, I guarantee he's not done. So where is he going to go? That's the big question. And I believe he has I'm sure there's going to be a certain cutoff point where he has to be signed by a certain team, because I don't think he can just sign whenever the playoffs start by any team. I'm pretty sure he has to play like a certain amount of regular season games before he can suit up in the postseason. And I'm sure he would love to be able to extend that Iron Man streak. It's just unreal. I've never seen anyone be able to pull this off. I think he has the record for the most consecutive games played. And I'm sure he would love to be able to keep that record going. So there's a lot of teams, I'm sure, that would love to have his services. Again, he's not going to be the Phil Kessel from 2015, 2016, when he was lighting it up with the Penguins. And I guarantee you, like, especially this late in the year, you're not going to expect this guy to get like 30, 40 points. Like, he might, honestly, if he was signed today, you might get lucky if he got like 20, 25 points, because he's more of like a third and fourth line kind of guy. He'd be great on the power play, but again, he's not going to give you like 30, 40 goals, especially this late in the season. So a veteran guy who can pretty much propel any team over the hump. I mean, he helped Vegas. I mean, he only played 4 games with them, but he had a pretty decent season with them as well just this past year. So there's a lot of teams that I'm sure would love to have his assets, but it's just a matter of who wants to take on Phil Kessel. And I guarantee if they do sign him, it's just going to be for like a league minimum. You're not going to pay this guy millions and millions of dollars, especially if he's not playing a full season. So yeah, that takes care of my recap of Phil Kessel. Like I said, I'm sure a team will sign him at some point this year. I think they have until March or something like that to get this guy signed. So I'm sure he's working out. I'm sure he's doing anything he can. Hopefully he's talking to his agent. His agent's making some phone calls to some GMs because I'm not ready to see this guy retire, and I'm sure he's not ready to hang up the skates just yet. As always, if you like this type of content, please feel free to hit the sub button. I'd be very grateful and very appreciative. And as always, take care.